Hello, guys. Hello. Yeah. So, hello. If you can see me, please let me know. You're welcome, guys. Welcome back to another live stream for today. Hello. So, I'm just waiting for people to join the stream, okay? Welcome. So, I'm just waiting. So, while I prepare our things for today's live class, okay, so you're welcome. If you can hear me, please let me know. If you can see me, please let me know so we can start immediately. All right, let's see. Strictly Dishes, hello. You're welcome. Thank you for all of your amazing dishes. Thank you so much. Thank you. By the way, guys, if you have not seen her channel, please go and check her out too. She has lots of amazing dishes, good recipes that you can actually try out and wow, and you will see. All right, Mercy, you're welcome. Hello, hi, you're welcome. So today, guys, let's just get started for today. So, guys, you can see, okay, Kate Okolo, good evening, ma. How is you? I'm fine, Madam Kate, I'm fine. Well done. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you, okay? All right, so guys, so today, like I said, from the picture that I sent, so today, basically, what we're going to be doing today is that neckline. Augustus Emme, you're welcome. Good evening. Thank you so much. So that's what we're going to be doing. So that's it, with no much grammar. So we're going to be using our basic bodies for this. Kemi Ajayi, hello. So we're going to be using our basic bodies. I hope this video is clear because at times the network will just make the video to be doing rubu rubu rubu. So we're going to use our basic bodies. So now the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut out my bodies. That's both for the back and the front. So I'm going to adjust my camera and then just cut it. As you can see, that's why most times I don't like putting on fan. You see the noise. Good evening, Rita. You're welcome. So let's see if you can see my food table. Okay. Yes. So let's place it this way. Yes. Okay. So now we're going to cut out. So we're using our basic body. So like I said, we're just going to use a basic body. So let's cut this out first, and then we can continue. So the emphasis for today's class is actually that collar neckline. One Eluwu. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing your name very well. So sorry about that. I'm trying to pronounce the one Emeka, one Maka. Don't mind me. My glasses is doing my fru. Okay, guys. So now let's just start. So now we'll cut out our basic dress. So let's cut. We're using just the basic bodice pattern rather. So I'll place it like this, and then I'm going to just go ahead and cut out. So if you have questions, you people know this is a live class. You people should talk. See, like yesterday as I was doing live stream, somebody was telling me that the lines I drew, they were not clear. You see, because it's a live class, I was able to adjust. If people do not talk, I will not be able to, I will not know. Me, I'm just doing my own here. So it's people that are seeing me that will be telling me, good evening. All right, so thank you so much. So now I'm cutting it down. I'm just trying to use my basic bodies to like trim this out. So the essence of today's video is that neckline. That is what we are going to be concentrating on. So I'll show you guys how to cut it. We'll look at it. We'll see what we are doing right and what we are doing wrong. Okay. So the next thing, I'm going to just put my point for my dart on this. Okay. So for the dart, I'm just using, like, seriously, this is not supposed to be chalk. I don't even know again. So I'll take this out and then I'll just notch that point where I'm going to add my dart. Okay. So the next thing now, we're going to add our neckline. So for the neckline, you know it is a dress that has the collar. So for the neckline, you don't want to open this neckline too much, or else the thing will not be good. So for the neckline, we're going to use about 3 inches for this width of this neckline. So most times you can also measure your client, you can measure their neck around for it to be very accurate. Okay. So we use 3 inches wideness, and then for the depth of the neckline, I'm going to use about 1.5 inch. That's for the front neckline, and then 1 inch for the back neckline. So you can see what I have here. So I'll mark this for the front and then mark this for the back. So it depends on how this neckline. So you can actually use um one two inches also. Okay, so now cut this out for the back, and then I'll cut this out for the front neckline. Okay, yeah. So the next thing now I'm going to cut out, so I'm just trying to open my back piece. So the next thing now, we're going to work on our collar. So there is this pattern that I saw. I want us to try it out on how to cut a collar. It's a simple process. Okay. So I wanted us to try this out. So we're going to use the front pattern. So I'll keep the back pattern here. So the first thing now that we're going to do, we used 1.5 inches for this. I'm wondering where my So we'll use 1.5 inches for this collar. So now, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to mark that 1.5 inches here. We'll cut this out. Okay. So we'll cut this out like this. So when you cut that out, the next thing we're going to cut now, we're going to use from this point to cut out our collar. So we're going to determine how deep we want it to be. So this is just like a simple way that I saw. Let's just try it out. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm marking 2 inches round that I'm going to cut out on my collar. You can see I'm just marking 2 inches round. You can see how simple and this is. Okay, see, and then I'll come to this side also. I'll mark the 2 inches. So at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to have. So I'm actually marking this on my pattern, guys. So the next thing now, I'm going to cut this out. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. If you have not hit on the like button, please hit on the like button. So let me slow down a little bit again, and then we'll just do some little greetings and then we continue. So guys, so if you are just joining us, you're welcome. So in today's video, what we're actually doing, we're cutting out a bishop's collar. So you can see I'm using a new technique that I saw. So I just want to try it out. So we'll try it out together. If it works, so if it does not work, we'll go back to our the old technique that we've been using. Okay, so basically I started with a basic body. So this is my basic bodice pattern. That's what I started with. I cut out my pieces. That's both the back and the front. I cut them out. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. If you have not hit on the like button of this video, what are you waiting for now? Please like the video so that the video can spread, so that other people can see it. Okay, let me people should see my face more. So like the video. Okay, hit on the like button. I would appreciate if you would like the video, and then please tell me where you're watching me from. If you are just joining me, Let me know where you're watching me from, okay? So when you come out, you meet people, greet. So that's basically what we are doing. Some people will say I'm wasting time, but this is what YouTube want us to do. When you are doing live stream, you stop, you pause, you talk to the people, and then you go back and continue. uh So that is it. So now let's continue. Okay. So now, Rita, you're welcome. Thank you so much, Kemi. So, like we said, so I cut out the neckline. So I just used this to cut out my neckline that I cut out, and then I came down. So my collar, I wanted my collar, and then I came down by 2 inches. So you can see, I just marked that 2 inches. I marked it round on my pattern paper, and then I'm going to cut this out now. So when I'm cutting, I'm going to add allowance to it. So you are not going to cut it directly like that, because if you cut it directly, you can add half of an inch allowance. So I'm just going to add half of an inch allowance to it, so that I'll have stitching allowance. Okay. So this is half of an inch allowance. So this is what I'm going to cut out now. This looks big, right? So now we're going to use this now to cut out our collar. Okay, so let's cut this out and see. So when we're cutting this, because we're going to cut the back and the front together, we're going to increase it. We're going to cut it, it's going to be straight. So before then, we're going to stitch our dress. We'll stitch it together, and then measure and see what we have before we use this to cut out the collar. So we will not draft a new collar. So that is the essence of this. But we're still going to use the exact dimensions for it. Okay. So now let me adjust my camera so that we can join our dress together. Okay. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. So first of all, I'm going to join my back piece together. I'll join it on the zip allowance part. So I'm going to open this up, and then I'm going to join the front on the shoulder area together so you can see. So I'll join the shoulder part together like this. And then I'm going to join the other part together also. So after joining this together, now we're going to join the sides. Don't worry, let's just continue. Let's open this up and then measure our neckline and then cut out our collar so that we can fix it. Okay, let's just leave the side together. So I'm trying to look for my blade so that I can open this up. Okay, so if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Okay, I wish we could play music. So if you have questions, please drop your questions on the comment section. If you are just joining us, let me know where you're watching me from. I would appreciate that. Okay. So I'm trying to open up the zip allowance part. The truth of the matter is that it's not um some people, they don't really don't like high neckline dresses. You understand? They like all the open neck stuff, whatever, whatever. Okay, so now I've opened that up. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to measure our neckline. We're going to measure it round, okay? Yeah. Okay. So I'll take my tape like this and then we're going to measure this round for us to know how many inches we're going to use to cut our collar. So you can see, so we have about 16 inches, which is like perfect. So I'm going to show you guys two ways for us to cut this collar. Remember the first one we cut out with our pattern and then the normal one. Okay. So now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open this up like this. So for us to cut 16, we need, so when you divide 16 into 2, we're going to have 8 inches. So, but since we're using this, let's just use this first, but we'll mark it. So this is like our 8 inches here. So add, okay, sorry. So add allowance, we'll add stitching allowance to it. Just add 1 inch, 9 inches for allowance. So I'm marking this now. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm taking this like this now. So this is a simple process. Just watch what I'm going to do. Just watch what I'm going to do now. So for this, just watch. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to teach you guys the two method of cutting this. When we finish cutting, we will know the one that we will use. So this one is the one, the new pattern one that I said that I saw. So like basically what I'm trying to do now is just to be tracing this, just like eyeball this curve, okay? And then eyeball it like that. When you finish eyeballing it, and then I'm going to, this part now is going to be this part like this. It's going to stay like this, okay? Now you see, you bring it back like this and then you place it like this. And then after placing it, this one now, you place this one like this. And then I'm going to just use my eyeball, that's like my neck, just the same way we cut the other color, and then trace this back into this pattern, okay? So and then measure, make sure you measure. If not, if you do not measure, you have bought market. This is even very big. This is like 10 inches, which is okay. So let's leave this one here first. Let me pin it down, and then on the same pattern I'm going to do the other normal one that we normally used to do, okay? So we'll cut out the both of them and sew them and see, right? So let's continue. So the other one, the other pattern that we normally used to do, so I'm just going to mark, so I'm going to start it from here. So this part is going to be my, like my startup line, okay? So the next thing that we're going to do, so we're using 16 inches. So that 16 inches is like 8 inches. So this is still the 8 inches. I hope you guys can see me. This is still 8 inches. So I'll add 1 inch to it for allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do for this part, I'm going to come up by half of an inch here. I'll come out by half of an inch. And then the next thing, let's just leave that. The next thing, we'll mark the length of the collar. So we want the collar to be like 2 inches. So we'll mark 2 inches like this for our collar. We'll mark it. When you mark it, we're going to still rule a straight line. So this straight line is like guide. It's like guide. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. No, let it not be that I'm doing for myself. So it's like guide. So we have our 2 inches there. So now from this point, I'm going to come up on this point. This is where 8 inches reach, which is 16 plus 1 inch. So I'm going to come up by half of an inch. I'll mark that half of an inch like that. So that half of an inch, when I mark that half of an inch, I'm going to blend that half of an inch into this point like this. You understand? So with that, it's not going to be, the neckline is not going, the collar is not going to be like straight so you can see. And then the next thing now, also, now I'm going to come to this side also. I'll come down by half of an inch also. So after marking half of an inch also, that half of an inch also, I will blend into this part like that. After blending this part, so for this down this side, you can give it any shape you want to like give it. So at the end of the day, because that side will go into the back, and then we'll curve this now. So you curve this. So the next thing now, I'll cut this out. So you can see how it looks like. So this is the down part, why this is the top part. So the next thing, I'm going to cut this one that I told you guys that I saw. I think I'm going to use this one. This pattern looks, it looks good to me. Can't you guys, can you guys see? You see the difference? You see this one, you see the shape of this one, and then you see the shape of this one. So I'm going to go with this. Let's try this one out. Okay. So the next thing now, we're going to cut out another one. We're going to cut out another one because we're going to sew it and turn it. Okay. So let me just sit and so that I can fan myself. So obviously you will know that this neckline is not going to. So now let's stitch. If you notice, what I cut out is bigger, but it's okay. So we're going to stitch first. So this other one, this is that normal round collar. So I'm just going to keep that on the side. Already have that one on my channel. So I just wanted us to try out something new. Okay. All right. So now we're going to sew this and turn. So I'll place this like this. Another way, I think there's even another way we can do this if we don't want to cut this out. So you can iron your interfacing on it, and then now we're going to sew and turn. Okay. So this part is the neck part, while this side is the down part. So this is the part that will have joining. That's the top part of the neckline. So that's the part that I'm going to stitch. So on this neckline, you should add your interfacing. That's like your gum stay, hemming gum, Bennett, you're welcome. Faustina, you're welcome. So the next thing now, so I'm trying to cut. I'm trying to cut this out. Okay. So now on this part, now we're going to double check our our neckline. That's like basically what I'm trying to say. We're going to measure it to make sure that we do not have excess and then we do not have less. Okay. So now I'm going to take this like this and I'm going to measure again. Just make sure you measure it because if you do not measure it at the end of the day, you're going to have excess. So you can see what I have. So I'm just going to part. Now that was what I was telling you. For this pattern, what you want to do is you measure your client, measure their neck. You notice most of those men, those they are south, you see when they sew them, they used to measure. Because I followed my husband to his tailor's place one time. When he's measuring the neck, he used to measure, they'll measure their neck round like this. So when they measure the neck round, they'll see what they have. And then so that is what they will place on this part, on this point like this. So you can see this one is 15. When I measured myself just now, it was 15. So that will make that neckline, that is why you see those their neckline, you see that it will sit perfectly well on the side. So for this part, this one is the zip allowance part. Since it is a normal collar neckline, you can decide not to even do anything to that part. So the next thing now, if you like the length, you can reduce it. So my own, trying to reduce the length a little bit. I think I like this pattern. I've not stitched it though, but I think I like this pattern. I think I'll prefer this pattern. So you can see. So I'm just trying to check. So the next thing now we're going to stitch it on this neckline. So in order for us to stitch it on this neckline, we're just going to open this up. So I'll open it up and then I'm going to top stitch it so it sits nicely. So I'm just like top stitching one side, okay? Like seriously. Am I talking to myself? Don't share. I hope you guys can still see me. So the next thing, so after that, you can see what we have. So I'm going to use my pressing iron. I'm going to press this down in my pressing iron and then we'll continue. Okay, guys. So I'm trying to press, just press. So after everything, this is what we have. I hope you guys can still see me. Oh. So the next thing, I'm just going to take the center of this and then I'll notch one part of the center. So after notching that part of the center, this is what I'm going to have. So this part, what you are going to do now, we're going to reduce this part. Just reduce it a little bit, like quarter of an inch. Okay. So if you have questions, you guys, you can ask. I hope my connection is still on. I hope you guys can still see me. This stream today. So I'm just going to put a notch here at the center of my neckline, and then I would come to the back, and then just mark the center of your point, and then I'm going to stitch it like this. Okay. So so basically what I'm trying to do, I'm going to just stitch it round. So I'm stitching it on it. I'm just stitching it round. Anybody that will come and copy. So you can see, so I've stitched the first part. So I'm trying to secure the other parts. So the next thing now, I'm just trying to secure the collar down now. Okay. So like I said, this is like the easiest way for you to do a high collar. So the next thing now, I'm just going to use my hands like this, just to like press this in. So you can decide to iron it. So you need to check it first before you start stitching. Don't just start stitching it down. You check it, make sure that everything is going to enter nicely, and then you continue. So the next thing, I'm going to use my pressing iron to like press it down first, and then before I continue. Ooh. So just press it down nicely, gently. So I'm just trying to press it down. So it's good, just press it down first before you stitch it down. So with that, it will be easy, okay? So after pressing it down, the next thing, I'm going to stitch it, let it be on top of the line, that neckline, that first stitch. So use a very matching thread and then just stitch it gently like that. So use a very matching thread, just stitch it down. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just securing it down. So this part, it wants to have I'm noticing a little bit of, you will know that I did not iron interfacing on it. So normally iron gum stay or hair stay, not even gum stay, iron hair stay. Hair stay is always better. I just iron your hair stay on it. So with that, it will make it smooth and okay. So you can see what I'm doing. You can see my color. It's coming out nicely. So I'm going to put on my iron and then iron it for us to see. So let the iron be getting hot. And then so this part you can see my hand shook a little bit. I usually don't like that. I usually don't like it though. If not because I'm doing tutorial, I would have loosened it. I'll open it up. So you see the inside of the collar. You see how nice and neat it is. Oh, you see how nice it is. The neck. You can see our collar. You see how beautiful this thing looks like. Okay. So the next thing now, our let's join our pattern together, and then I'll just place it on the mannequin for you guys to see. Okay. So for those that are just joining us, you're welcome. I noticed it this stream is like most people today. This stream is not. They, they don't want to learn color, how to sew color. Yeah, so like I normally say, you guys should just bring what you want us to learn. Just let me know on the comment section. So we are almost done. So I'm just trying to put the dart. So when I place it on the mannequin, it will look okay. Okay. And then I'm going to place the other darts also. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to iron this and then place it on the on the mannequin for us to see. So before then, I'm just going to. I love this pattern of this color pattern. I really love it. That's just the truth. So I'm going to. So I'm just trying to like shaping my armhole. Okay. So I want to go ahead and shaping my armhole. So it looks okay when I place iron this. trying to iron it. So let's just iron it a little bit. Um, Smooth on the mannequin. That shake that no, I'm not happy. So I'm going to take out my pins. Guys, can you? This looks really beautiful. I think switching to this pattern sharp. I'm not even going to say about this pattern. Straight for the bust that so that the axis. Okay, end of the day, you can see how our bishop's collar neckline. The essence of this tutorial was how to actually sew it in my next. Bye.